Bye. 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 I love them. I love the soundtrack in this game. It's just, listen, I don't want to be I don't want this to sound like a backhanded compliment, but it's like this, it sits on this like line of like sort of janky, old school, just like minimalist. I love it. There's just something so weird and delightful about it. But anyway, how are you doing? I have to take like almost a day's break between runs of this game because it is a little exhausting. I'm stockpiling these episodes. So if you've been watching the series, welcome, congratulations. I appreciate it. I hope you watched the last one. If you did, thank you very much. It was a long one. I generally don't make it a point to upload like hour-long videos anymore because it's not good for the algorithm unless it's basically an essay video where, anyway. None of that. Let's get into it. We're gonna try something completely different. We've got a lot of stuff to play with now. We've got lots of new things to try. So now that I've won a run, I can consider myself a complete expert on this game and just know that I'm always going to be doing the right thing forever. That's not true, but let's do a bit. An elusive scout from the underground tunnel halls performs wild evasive movements. Well, we kind of just did that. We did a speed run. Listen. Per point of encumbrance, +5 armor. On being hit by an adjacent enemy, deal 5. All right, let's go the completely other route. Let's do a Volkite. We're gonna do a tank run. We're gonna do a run where basically we smack everything that touches us and we never move, basically. So I like this. Per point of encumbrance. This is gonna do fire damage, so we want to build on fire damage if we can. This guy here has a fire knife. He starts with fire knife. Applies 50 plus 50 stacks of all effects, max plus 100. Sounds pretty good. They also resist fire, so that's pretty good. On attack, stand still. If enemies live, deal 15 astral damage to yourself. On divine intervention, +1 strength. Limit 3 per area, deal 1000 astral damage to all units in a 5 tile range. So this guy, if I pick this guy, he likes to die, basically, and then also he deals damage via divine intervention, which is an interesting idea, but I don't think it synergizes very well with the Volkite. On step or hit, deal lightning damage to one enemy in a 4 tile range. So this guy likes to hit and then hit again, and he also gets quite a lot of speed. Doesn't really synergize, but it is interesting. I want something with strength. The obvious one is the warrior, and we get poise, and we get to stand still, and we get extra armor, and we get encumbrance. Warrior is starting to feel pretty good, even though I've tried the warrior. On shrug off, if two-handing per empty armor slot, perform an extra attack against an adjacent enemy. Per 1% missing life, 1% hit total. This one's pretty good. Extra strength and extra speed. Let's try the Reaver. Trained in the deep forest, retaliates with pain-fueled blows. So we're looking at 350 life to start, and that's pretty good. And then I really liked Humbaba. I started to feel like I really got a handle of Humbaba near the end of that last run. But let's try something different. Prayers grant healing, purge effects, deal blunt damage, and perform extra attacks. Dorak seems like an obvious choice for us. It increases our life and strength. We want to be taking lots of hits, and so therefore we want our life to be higher. And right now Dorak seems to be the one. Or Ninhurs is create divine grass terrain in a path to the exit. Increases your healing on summon. Grace per stack, take less -5 damage, deal 5 astral damage to the attacker on being attacked. That does kind of synergize. That's on prayer though, so it's worth noting that only when we pray do we get this effect. But we take less damage and we deal 5 astral damage to the attacker on being attacked. On picking up armor, transform into a vestige. Transform it into a vestige. Inflexibility set to 0. Encumbrance set to 1. Plus 10% astral resistance. On picking up a weapon, transform it into a shimmering orb. Counts as a bare fist. Encumbrance set to 1. Range set to 2. This is complicated. This character here is almost feels like a gimmick character. I don't want to really dabble with that. On prayer, apply 5 Drake form to yourself. Drake form transformation attack range set to 1. Perform a 50 damage hit against adjacent enemies on attack. Ooh, interesting. Per stack. Plus 10 armor, plus 20 block, deal 25 fire damage to all units and 2 tile range on. This seems like it synergizes quite well with our run. Less health than Dorok. And less strength. But willpower. And we build on the fire. I'm surprised it doesn't give us some extra fire resistance. What are the prayers? Heal 500 plus 1 charge when you enter. Yeah, I mean, that's very kind of meh. Deal damage to all units in a 3 tile range equals 100 times stacks of Drake form. Okay. So you, well, how do we get, oh, I see. So we do a couple prays to put some stacks of Drake form on ourselves, and then we do a big pray to damage a bunch of enemies. And then the last one is apply 5 Drake form to yourself. Remove all non-Drake form effects from yourself. Plus 1 charge when you recite the Proso Mock, which is the second pray. Okay, we're going to try this. I don't know if it's the best one. I'm cognizant of the fact that it's like 7 minutes before I even start the run. But you know what? I think I proved in the last episode that if you read and you are a little bit meticulous and you actually follow along, then you can, you can figure out how to play the game. Brought violence, desiring life, thus desired blood enraptured the land, became ultimate violence, with blood exhausted, became astral rage. Now in the husk of rule, the land is a flowering immolation that no spirit evades. I think these are based on what I choose, and this one seemed really cool. I like this one. I like these little poems. They're not quite random. They're kind of handcrafted in a good way. I'm gonna take strength because I want that extra armor, that extra life, the resistances. Scales off of equipped armor weapons. So, and negates encumbrance. I think we actually want encumbrance. I'm not sure. So, why don't we actually start building up dexterity, since that also gives us armor. But right now we don't have any encumbrance because we got lots of strength. But let me just check here. What is it that gives? Yeah, per point of encumbrance plus 5 armor. So we do actually want encumbrance. We don't care too much about speed. The ideal situation here is that we become so tanky and we dole out lots of damage for being hit that it doesn't matter that we never move, basically. So our speed, we're gonna kill our speed eventually. We're gonna be moving so slowly that probably the enemy just like attacks us repeatedly and they die via taking damage from us. It's optimistic. We probably don't want to kill our speed too badly. But, that's the direction I'm headed in here. So what do we got? We got gore nymphs. They deal blood damage. And they have speed 15. That means they move, they get an extra move. So, we should pick some skills. So we want probably fire. On adjacent hit, deal fire damage to all adjacent units. On non-adjacent hit, deal fire damage in a 1 tile area. On kill, deal fire damage to all units. We're really banking on fire, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. I don't think that that's discouraged in this game. I think that once you figure out what you want to do, you can really build up on that. See, on this one, on dealing fire, astral, lightning damage, and we do deal fire and astral, increase it by the stacks of Scorch. On dealing fire damage, apply Scorch to the target. Okay, we want this. That's really good. We might even want to upgrade that. On Prey or Standstill, deal fire damage to all units in 2 tile range. I mean, that's really good. And then we also deal Scorch. And then we also deal increase it by the stacks of Scorch on the target. Scorch per stack dealt 10 fire damage on game turn. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on there. Per skill level, plus 50 hit, plus 50 accuracy. And then on dealing slash and blunt damage, deal fire damage to 2 adjacent enemies. So as long as we keep a slash and blunt weapon in hand, we'll deal fire damage. This seems like really good as well. So let's take that. And then on hit, apply Scorch to the target, dealing more Scorch. On dealing fire damage, heal yourself. Oh my god, survivability. Yes. Let's upgrade that, in fact. We're going to be healing ourselves whenever we deal fire damage, and we're going to be dealing fire damage whenever we're hit and whenever we hit. So, like... Yeah. Where's the one that's, like, whenever we're hit? I think it's this one, actually. On being hit by an adjacent enemy. Yeah, okay. So, like, our run is already starting to look pretty good. Damage dealt divided by inflexibility plus 10% healing. This is really tempting. Honestly, I think I should double down on willpower because it will be extra damage and extra healing. I should basically go willpower. Honestly, I feel like willpower and dexterity because then we're going to be doubling down on block. So let's do willpower for now. I might be wrong about that. Maybe I'm completely off base on that, but that feels correct. Just gonna hang out near the door. I think that something I should consider doing in the future is if I'm ever in the, like I can just hang out at the door, and if I'm ever in danger, I'll just walk out, just leave. You know, do more willpower. I'm really enjoying this game, though. I didn't know how much I was going to enjoy this game. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be another one of those situations where it's like, oh, this falls right in line with games that I've enjoyed in the past. I should enjoy this game, and it's like, it's just like really difficult and punishing, and I end up not liking it very much. But I am really enjoying this game. So let me see. Agni Helm, plus 6 encumbrance, resist fire and astral. On being attacked, apply 5 inflame to yourself. Deal fire damage to yourself. Per stack, 10 accuracy, 20 hit. 50% removed on being hit. I mean, inflame is interesting, but fire damage. Self damage equals stacks of inflame on self. Self damage is unaffected by resistance. So we would literally hurt ourselves on being attacked. I'm not sure if I like that. But we would heal ourselves more on prayer. I don't think that this helmet really does it for us. On being attacked, well, this one already does that to us, but it resists poison. Do I don't know. But this one only applies inflame on myself. It doesn't deal fire damage to myself. So, I don't know. Currently, we are doing slash damage. Attacks area if two-handing. We are two-handing right now. So that's good. I like our dude. He looks like a golem. Beast Visage. If chest armor is empty, plus 15% all resistances, negative 50 armor. Percent applied after all bonuses, negative 2 inflexibility on attack. If chest armor empty, apply 8 berserk to yourself. Grants an extra attack per stack. It's cool, but I don't think it synergizes very well with this this character. On dealing blunt damage, 50% of the damage is dealt again as ice damage. I don't think that really works for us. Blunt, resist slash and blood. On prayer, deal slash damage in a path to one enemy at any range. Apply 5 berserk to ourselves, which is plus 1 speed but less block. Neither of these are very good. So in this instance, what I do is I take the one that gives us more stuff, and on getting more stuff, we have more options for sacrifice. I know I can already take on that guy. And honestly, I could just like hang out behind this wall and just damage things as they come. I don't know what's going on over there. That's fine. I think I'm doing astral damage to characters like far away. I'm not really sure. We're gonna start buffing our dexterity. If you're curious why I'm buffing dexterity, it's mostly for the block. Speed is fine. Like, I don't think that having speed is really a problem. And the only thing is, like, I think on game turn is what we want. Perform an extra attack against an adjacent enemy. On dealing on prayer, and then standstill, deal fire damage. This is a complicated build, I have to say. I'm not really super sure how best to play it. Standing still is obviously an option because we deal some extra fire damage, but you know, we also deal damage by attacking, and we also deal extra fire damage on attacking. So like, there's lots of room here. So what do we got? We don't want resist fire. This guy resists fire. He has no range though, and he only has resistance, like 75 resistance. He does not resist slash, so he would still take damage to us, from us, sorry. This guy, however, is a problem. He resists by 50% all of our stuff. I don't know. He does fire damage, which we do resist, I believe. What's our resistance for fire? 75%. So we also resist him. What do we got? On standstill, apply repulsion to yourself. Gain 1 armor per stack of repulsion on self, and then deal psychic damage to the attacker on being attacked. Interesting. It does synergize. On attack, apply 2 sickness. Nah. This gives us resistances on dealing physical damage. Apply 2 poise to yourself, which gives us more armor and more accuracy. Does kind of synergize. What are our other options? This guy resists fire. This guy resists fire. Same dudes, really. Resist blood on dealing slash damage. Apply blood. And then over here on step per enemy, perform a 10 damage hit against one adjacent. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of want to do the green tower. I think we can take it. I know it's dicey. I know it's super dicey. And maybe this is a mistake. Like, that guy's ranged, so that's a problem. I won't lie. I'm just going to keep taking dexterity. We have healing. Like, we have healing prayer if things go awry. I don't think that was super bad, to be honest. Oh, wow. Our prayer is only 1 charge. Wait, whoa, we have Drake form. Oh, right. Attack range set to 1. Perform a 50 damage hit against adjacent enemies on attack. Okay, yeah. We should probably be doing that as soon as we enter, huh? Like, it's just very good. Ranged enemies suck a little bit for us, but that's okay. We have survivability. The Drake form's kind of crazy. I like it a lot. We do have enough for another ability. Let's have a look at our other ones. Worm form. On dealing over 100 damage, apply worm form to yourself. Okay. Transformation attack range set to 1. That's fine. Per stack, apply 2 scorch to all enemies in a 3-tile range on attack. I mean, that's pretty cool. But then we have fire familiar. Like I said, familiars are probably always something you want. Apply scorch to yourself on attack. If you have scorch, deal fire damage to all units in a 3-tile range. You no longer take damage from any source triggered by scorch, and it is no longer removed with willpower. Per stack, dealt 10 damage. I mean, this is really good. On being attacked. Yeah, we want anything that is like on being attacked, because we kind of already deal a lot of damage from that. I would like to save for worm form. I'd like to have all of these. These are all really cool. I don't think that there's anything wrong with diversifying. There's obviously a benefit to upgrading a skill you already have. Oh, we should go into Drake form. I wonder what happens when you have two forms. When you have like Drake form and also worm form. That's gonna be interesting. We're gonna use this wall to force them to come to us. We do really good slash damage, so even if we're not like... Even if they manage to come, like, walk right up to us and they have a lot of fire resistance, we can still take them out pretty handily. Whoa! A Hamadrake hisses, vile seepage, all-consuming. So we're gonna... Oh, yeah. That was, that's a bit scary. So let's take willpower this time for the added healing. So we've got 30 Scorch applied on ourselves. Dealt 10 damage on game turn. But we don't actually take that damage, right? So this guy is going to be a problem because he does resist a lot of our stuff. I don't know how much damage he's going to do to us. So far, it doesn't seem like a lot. And, oh, okay, that hurt a little bit. Okay, so what we might want to do is actually back away. The Ratman squeaks ecstatically. You die. What? The Ratman pelt has killed you. Pelt pierced you for 78. Oh my god. Oh man. I don't know how I feel about alternating between an hour and 40-minute videos and 20-minute videos. But the alternative is if I do a second run and it works really well, then that'll be a 2-hour video. I knew that green tower was gonna kill me. No, I didn't. I really thought I was doing well, but I guess those ranged Ratmans were really a problem. I needed to move away. I needed to figure it out faster and move away. I forgive myself a little bit more for that one. The first time, my first run where I was doing really well, I genuinely bungled it. But this one, I don't know if I understood. I kind of want to do the same run again because I feel like this is a good run. I just need to do it better. So, all right, let's do another run. O Achra, doorway of suffering to the shimmering path of desert places. Azda rules your blood through monstrous temples, towers that break the world, through hills darkened for flood, in the last silent heat of drowned chasms. Glory alone is the voice that answers. I'm gonna take willpower right away. I'm gonna try the same thing, basically the exact same thing. You no longer take damage from any source triggered by Scorch. It's no longer removable with willpower. Let's take this first. I'm dealing, and then let's take this. I guess I leveled up. On adjacent hit, deal fire damage to all adjacent units. On killed, deal fire damage to... Yeah, we should probably take pyrokinesis as well. I mean, it's... Oh no, I hate these guys. Oh, they have a chance to, like, kill me on this very first floor. Oh, God, I hate those guys so much. I gotta do a prey on the first floor here. Because they, like, teleport to you directly. Oh, these guys suck, too. Good lord, this is a really shitty first floor. Pair of leggings abandoned by a void wandering knight. That might be good for us. On step, apply 3 stasis to yourself. Gain 30 hits per stack of stasis on self. No longer loses one stack on being attacked. Prevents teleportation. Interesting. We don't have any legs. Like leggings. If we wear this, it will hurt our speed by a lot, though. The encumbrance is going to be insane. I don't want to fight astral monkeys. Is that what this is? Blink Beast? I don't want to fight them. Rat Man. Curse you, Rat Man. This might be good. Not sure. Astral Resistance. Deal 50% of the damage is dealt again. Nah. I really want a fire weapon. Per enemy, perform a 10 damage hit. This isn't bad. Oh, it's piercing damage. We don't want piercing damage. We want slash or blunt, which we have on offer here. I'll try this one. Not a huge fan of those rat men. We'll start taking dexterity. Really need to like just take every advantage. Like, make sure if you're fighting range dudes, like force them to come to you. Don't ever let them hit you if you can avoid it. Let's go into Drake form. Like what's happening here, that's not good. I appreciate that when you like end the stage, you just like walk directly towards it. It doesn't have to like do a bunch of pathfinding. Okay, that worked out well. There's our bone shield. There's our amethyst falx. Okay, we're gonna look at the green tower again. I know. Speed 12, 3 range fire. That's fine. Poison, very weak to fire. They have range and they have poison damage. That sucks. 1 range slash damage. Again, I think we can do it, but I was wrong last time, so I don't know. Resist astral, apply meditate to yourself, deal 20 astral damage to one enemy at any range. That's kind of nice, but it does astral. Slash, on initial attack per enemy, empty armor slot, perform an extra attack against a random adjacent enemy. It's kind of nice, actually. I really like that, but what's the other alternative? Resist astral on dealing astral damage. 20% of the damage is dealt again to one enemy at 1 less range. On dealing blood, physical, heal yourself for 5. I don't know. Let's try the green tower, because then if it kills this run, then I can call it for this episode. I know that's a cop out, but just like I genuinely do think we can make it through this. Apply inflame to yourself. Perform a number of extra attacks against an adjacent enemy. Oh, deal psychic damage to yourself. I don't like that. I do like this because it heals us per scorch. And then let's take pyrokinesis. So we've got a couple more toys in our basket. And I'm just going to play it safe. So these guys do suck. They resist our damage pretty hard. But, you know, we can still hit them with slash. And we heal whenever we're doing fire damage. The nice thing about these guys is even though they resist our fire damage, we're still technically doing damage to them. And so therefore we're healing every time we hit them. So, you know, it's a good thing. I don't know what that initial thing is. I should really pay attention to that. Let me just have a look. Urga Guard hit rises. Amplification. So they're being amplified by something. I'm not sure what. Oh, that was a bad. Okay, let's go into our Drake form. Oh wow, that's a lot of stuff just happening. It's an interesting run. I kind of like it a lot. Ideally, we get a lot of extra hits, and we are getting a lot of hits. And then we just become this like tanky monster. But we need the armor to make it happen. The poison scares me a little bit, I will say. But these guys are very weak to fire, so I should be able to handle them. I don't know, like, I wish I had a better idea or understanding of how we are doing so much stuff. It's pretty great, though. Let's just double down on willpower. It'll increase our fire damage. We'll go into Drake form just to get rid of, you know, just to do something. Actually, I'm gonna move toward... Oh, that's not good. Ow. Ow. We need to recover. That poison damage sucks, I won't lie. There's our dragon. He's gonna deal fire damage to us, but we are 70%, 5% resistant to fire. He is, however, only 25% resistant to fire. So he's gonna take some fire damage. I wish that one thing I really liked about Humbaba, I think it was Humbada, I don't know, was that you got prayer charges for making kills, and so you could really synergize with that very handily. It was very quite nice. Okay, let's continue. I should probably, yeah, let's take dexterity. Dexterity is going to be a better survivability, I think. I'm going to go into Drake form. It's just ridiculous. I don't know if maybe I took a better combination of skills, but it does seem to be working a bit better. Okay. These guys are not great for us. But fortunately, they die really handily. We're going to go ahead and use that to heal. We can do that. We can, like, take a couple steps, take some damage, and then we heal when we go into our Drake form. All right, is this the last floor? I think it is. We'll take dexterity. The Gil Elga raises its scythe. A god of blood is near. Okay, I'm just gonna wait. Ah, they're already here. Oh, we have our second prayer. Damage to all units in a 3-tile range it's up to stacks of Drake form. So why don't we go ahead and cast this, and then we'll cast this. We'll do 100 damage to like everything around us. These guys are what? Resistant? They have protection. I think we're gonna succeed the green tower this time. Yeah, okay. So we got our robe of gore. Star staff, beast visage, clay deb. Okay, what should we wear? Per empty slot, perform an extra attack against a random adjacent enemy. This seems really good for us, and we do have a lot of empty slots. I don't like having empty slots because our resistance, you know. But we could wear like this helmet, and then we could try this. We could try wearing this helmet, and then wearing this. This is going to do slightly less damage, but really slightly, and it has better accuracy. What happens if I... there you go, right-clicking it again. No corresponding item equipped. Extra health. Oh, that's interesting. So if you don't have an item, it just gives you more health. Kind of want to try this. Really just double down on like wearing nothing. I guess I'm committed to this now. This is going to be interesting. It's a risky play. This guy's very weak to fire damage. Poison. Oh, he does poison damage. This seems like the play. On being dealt whatever. Plus, nah. I don't like this guy. death, poison. All right, let's go to this one. We get more stuff. And I'll take dexterity and willpower. Maybe dexterity is not the play. Let's go into Drake form. So we do get a lot more extra attacks now, I think. These guys are resistant to fire, I think. Ow. Berserk grants an extra attack per stack +1 speed. Negative. Wow, that's a lot of berserk we have right now. So how much speed do we have? 51. I did not expect to have that much speed as this character, I will say. Okay, we'll go into Drake form, and then I can basically cast both of these prayers at once. It does a lot of extra damage. The thing is that it's a risky thing to cast both of those because keeping one up means having a divine intervention. I don't think I need dexterity anymore. I mean, the block and dodge and yeah, I think I need to really double down on block and dodge if I'm gonna be wearing no armor. Like, how much block do I have right now? 22%. I don't feel like that's enough, but like, you know, we're still early in this run. All units in a 3-tile range. Ooh, that hurt a lot. So let's just go ahead and ooh, it's gonna be, yeah, I'm dead. God damn, those spore beasts. Good lord. Okay, well, those guys sucked. I feel like I am right to basically try and avoid ranged units whenever I can. We unlocked a new character, Albaz. This is yeah, they're new. Can't remember. I don't know what this up here is like. Is this race or kin? And then here is class, and then bottom is religion. So oh, culture. Okay, culture is a better way of putting that. Well, that was a little disappointing. 2 runs back to back where I died. It's an interesting combination. Maybe it's not good enough, at least not in the early game. Maybe it needs a bit more time to snowball, or maybe it's just really good right away and then it peters out very quickly. But anyway, if you did enjoy this, definitely hit the like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.